Mark acquired.
Alright, what is up guys? Professor Akali here bringing you a new video on how I was able to win 42 games in a row on my new main account, one-tricking Akali, primarily mid lane. This is going to be everything I did, how I played, and just overall tips that you can replicate to potentially get this kind of win streak for yourself. And just as a disclaimer, I did start off on an unranked smurf, not plat 1 or diamond or anything, but the win streak in itself is still the craziest thing I've ever done in ranked throughout me playing for 7 years since season 1. So without me wasting too much time, let's jump into the different reasons as to how I was able to do it. Number 1. Abusing Akali's sustain. Now this tip is specific to Akali mostly, but the one thing I realized during my huge win streak is just how ridiculous Akali's sustain actually is. With just one item, your Gunblade, you're able to sustain so quickly that you actually never have to recall. I can't stress how huge this is because you have no downtime, you can keep shoving waves, taking towers, and roaming to make more plays. This honestly is the biggest reason as to why I think I was able to go on such a win streak, yet even someone like Faker can still lose a few games in his placements. Akali's sustain is just so broken that I never had to recall, or rather, I recalled 3 times less than other players or maybe even more, and on top of this, you can actually go for a combo onto enemy champions under their tower, chunk their health bar, and just wait for the next wave to heal up to full, and the damage you took from the tower is negated. Not to mention you can tank Dragon without losing any health, solo Rift Herald, and no matter what you do, find one minion wave and you're back to full health. Overall, it's just plain stupid, and if you're able to recognize that you're able to do all these things, you're just one step closer to fully abusing Akali. Number 2. My secret Snowball strategy. I think I've mentioned this once before in a combo guide, but there is one specific combo or strat that I use to secure myself a ton of early kills, which obviously when you're playing a champion like Akali, leads to an assured victory more often than not. Basically what I do is I find a champion I can 1v1 that's farming a wave or trying to take my turret. Obviously they'll run away if they see Akali run up to them, but the thing is, if you do a very specific combo in which you ult onto a nearby minion and then max range gunblade them, you're able to abuse your gunblade slow to catch up to them, stick onto them with your ult, and decimate them. This combo is simple in theory, but I rarely see anyone do it. It's such a frequent snowballing tool that I use, I figured it would be important to mention it here, but anyways, let's move on to the next one. Number 3. Strategically dodging in champion select. There's actually kind of an art to dodging in solo queue. Like legit, if you know what to look for in both teams, which matchups win, what the win rates of your teammates are, and on the champions that they've chosen, you can actually increase your win rate by a ton. For example, the one game I knew I should have dodged but didn't because I wanted to challenge myself, I ended up losing, making my score 42 wins and 1 loss, and completely crushing the hopes I had of breaking the world record for wins in a row. The enemy team had 4 tanks and a ton of CC, both being the things Akali does so poorly against. I had no targets to feed off of besides the AD carry, and I really just had no chance even as a higher skill player. Other reasons I've dodged in the past are because whether maybe it be my team picks troll picks like a Teemo support with a sub 50% win rate, or maybe just low win rate champions in general. Overall, the frequency in which you want to dodge is completely up to you, but the thing is your MMR isn't affected, so long term it really won't affect you at all. Bottom line is, don't feel bad about leaving if your team is looking troll, just learn to open up op.gg and do some analysis. And one quick thing I wanted to mention to you guys before number 4 that I think is important but not worth its own point obviously, is to realize that all my experience playing Akali is a huge reason as to why I was able to get that win streak. I know exactly where I land with my ult, I know the range of all my spells, and I know how much damage every single combo does with every single combination of items in my inventory. It takes a long time to get really good at a champion, but it truly is doable. Practice, watch catch from the best players, and watch streams of people playing live. You will get it eventually, I promise. Number 4. Never giving up in game. Not just never giving up, but knowing when I can try to push to take my lead back. For example, when you're playing Akali, you're not always going to win the whole game. Sometimes I feed pre-6, sometimes I feed post-6. The thing is, I know when I get my Gunblade, I can get back into the game because of how strong that one item power spike is, so I patiently turtle under turret and farm it out until I can become relevant in the game again. I don't try to force fights against someone more fed than me, I don't AFK, don't cry to my jungler, usually, or play overly aggressive to find a pick. I do what's most optimally and what will yield the best results. I wait and I wait until I farmed up enough to be strong enough to get back into the game. Number 5. First turret blood. I honestly think, and for those of you that have watched all the Unranked to Rank 1 series, you can vouch for this, that I've taken first turret blood in at least 95% of the games I've played, single-handedly. I did this because I understand just how important it is, not only how much bonus gold first turret is, but how valuable it is to my team and that they get global gold and the pressure relieved from taking mid turret early. So for example, if you shove a wave mid and the side lanes are 100% gankable, meaning you'll get at least one kill guaranteed, obviously you should take the guaranteed kill. But if you're not sure, just start hitting the turret, try to go for the tower. Even if you can't take out the tower, take out 30% of it while the enemy is recalled. It adds up. And you know what they say, kills don't win games, objectives do. You can't trust your solo queue teammates to do anything. You have to take out all the objectives yourself. My standard strategy for winning if I don't smash mid all the way to the Nexus is to take each outer turret in each lane, then the inner turrets, then I worry about late game Baron and split pushing. Make it easy for your team because you know they'll never make it easy for you, especially if you're on the NA server. Yikes. Number 6. Warm up and burnout. This is overkill for sure, but this is what I did to get that streak, so I think there's some credit to it. From experience, I know that I can play League at my highest level for 4 hours in a row or so before I start playing like shit, but I also know that I play like shit for the first game of the day. So what I do is I warm up on my Diamond 5 Smurf for a few hours before I hop on my account I'm trying to win on. I also generally only play 3 games in a row on my tryhard account and not when I'm tired. And actually, here's a spoiler, I went from 55 wins, 2 losses to 55 wins, 5 losses because I lost 3 games in a row playing at 5 in the morning after, staying up all day doing YouTube stuff like a complete idiot. So yeah, there's your proof. Don't do that. And lastly, number 7, the small stuff. I'm going to quickly name off some of the small stuff that I think is important to winning games. I made a series about a year ago named How to Get Diamond that I'm going to leave a link to down below in the description because I feel like all of the content is still very useful and relevant. In that series I talk about how and when to freeze the wave, which is unbelievably important sometimes when you're trying to gain a lead or just not get ganked. Freezing a wave can force enemy laners to overextend to their deaths, which is the most beautiful thing ever because they're probably already behind to begin with. There's also a guide on how to gank which I 100% recommend you guys watch. It's extremely important because certain paths can avoid wards that the enemy team have potentially placed. There's also information on when you should split push versus when you should group, an in-depth guide on how to master champion, not just Akali, and honestly I could go into depth of every topic I mentioned in this series, but my video would be 30 minutes long, so definitely go check it out for yourself. The videos are only about 2-3 minutes each. And on that note, definitely don't just check out my content. Solo Renekton Only has a great guide on wave management, and there's also this thing called League Craft 101, which is unbelievably useful in learning League of Legends and getting better at League of Legends. So yeah, I definitely recommend you guys check all of that out. They're going to be some of the greatest tools to getting better at this game. So I will leave some of the links down in the description. Be sure to check them out, and yeah. Anyways, those are going to be the main points, but I did have some final thoughts I wanted to talk about. So the first thing is the nature of the champion you're playing. Obviously there's going to be champions that can carry harder than, a support mage. So I think like champions like Riven, Akali, the solo queue god stompers will definitely be doing a lot more work than Karma, Morgana, Lulu, and stuff like that. They'll even be doing more long term than like Victor because, he can't really carry as hard 1v9. So, some champions can do better and go on longer win streaks. Akali is definitely a perfect example of a champion that can do that. And also, while I do want everyone to play Akali and learn to play Akali because I do feel like she's so much fun and so good in solo queue, I just have to say that Akali will be reworked pretty soon here. So I really don't recommend maining her because you're just going to end up potentially wasting a lot of time learning a champion that is going to be completely gone for the most part. Not saying she'll be similar, but I don't think it's worth maining her. But if you do, I do recommend you guys check out my Ultimate Season 8 Akali guide because you can literally learn everything about Akali. So yeah, I mean, that's going to pretty much be it. I just had a few final thoughts. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I hope you are able to learn from it. Haven't done a guide type video in a while, so here's a nice little change up. If you guys did like the video, please be sure to leave a like to let me know. If you want to see me do more of these, leave a comment down below. And other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your days, and I will see you in a new video. Peace.